how was performing your first show? Was it so exciting and
extremely stressful? I felt like, God, my shirt is tight. I'm so fat. Like, I just felt like people would see if I breathed too much.
Comedy.
Ciao. Welcome to the Comedy Hall. Okay.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comedy Hall. Here we go with Ariel.
Right on. Here I am.
And then we have Jordan Thomas Gray.
At Jordan Thomas Gray.
Right on, bruh. That's so awesome, guys.
Ciao.
It's not me. It's not Ariel. It's Charlie.
I didn't know we had a special guest today.
That's right.
Yeah, we have a special guest.
It's me, Charlie. I'm from SoCal. I'm part of the band Division X.
Is Charlie going to be here the entire episode?
I don't know. It depends. I have a gig tonight, so I gotta go very soon. I just want to drop in.
So actually, I asked...
Anyway, okay. Ciao, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Welcome to the Comedy Hole, as Bea says.
Yes, and today's episode is about touring and Jordan tour.
And Division X tour.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about touring, doing a solo show, what that involves, maybe also touring as a group we could talk about. So, are you okay, Charlie?
I'm totally fine. No problem here.
No problem over with Charlie. As usual, I have a plan for how we should proceed that I'm sure will go directly out the window. I was thinking...
Can't wait to ruin your plan.
Was thinking first I could just give an overview of what I did and what the experience was, and then maybe what people should do to prepare for a tour, and then talk about just the logistics.
I love it. I love it. That's such a good idea. You just went on tour recently?
and maybe
I think the setup, because usually we are sit in 3 different spots, and now Jordan, you are sitting right next
couch?
to me, and I think this is not helping.
All right, I'm gonna
for
move
the seriousness of this topic.
You guys already finding problems? This is a good time, guys. I'm so excited.
All right, let's start. Jordan did a tour recently. He went around Poland. The tour was called Why Poland?
Why?
Well, if you come to one of the Why Poland shows, I will tell you. Why Poland.
Guys, wait. I gotta go on my tour. I would wish I could have listened to this, but I gotta go.
Bye, Charlie. Bye, Charlie. Hey, Ariel. Wow, welcome back.
Oh, hey, man.
Is that a friend of yours or
who? That guy?
The Charlie guy.
Oh, I thought I missed the guest. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, Ariel's back.
Ariel's back. Ciao, Ariel. Welcome back.
Ciao, Ariel.
Welcome back.
Hello.
All right, let's get started then. Bae, do you want to introduce the topic of the show one more time or no?
Yes, Ariel. So you were missing.
Yeah, what's happening?
Wait.
Sorry, I'm
missing.
late, guys. Sorry.
You were missing, but today's topic is about touring and Jordan solo tour, and also tour as a group. And in general, we will discuss about what tour means.
What does it mean?
That's right, because Jordan went on a tour recently. He's only a year into comedy and is already doing an hour show tour, which is very unheard of, but also a huge inspiration to the Warsaw community. And so a lot of people are going on tours and things like that around Poland. So it's very awesome. So, I mean, how would you like to start, Jordan? Because there's so many questions I can ask.
Okay. I guess overview is it was 7 cities, 8 shows, about 500 tickets sold. Do you guys want to know like the stats?
500 altogether?
Altogether. So
no, I don't think stats is necessary.
I like stats. A couple cities.
It's just numbers.
100. Okay,
maximum
so no
show,
stats.
Honestly, I like stats.
Maximum gets good. A couple shows had 100 people. So Warsaw was one and Gdańsk was one.
Pretty good.
And then the lowest attended show was a last-minute extra show added in Lublin because the 8 p.m. show sold out, so we added a 10 p.m. show.
8 p.m. show was how many people?
Only 45. So very easy to sell at that venue. And then I got cocky, and I was like, let's do it again. Set up a 10 p.m. show, and 5 people came.
All right.
So,
but also Lublin is a small city, so probably
50 seems to be about how many you can get reliably in Lublin. Also, the city shuts down around 10, 11 p.m. and people just don't seem interested in late night activities besides like the one or two clubs that are in the area.
Okay.
So lesson learned there, don't add a second show last minute, and 10 p.m. shows probably don't work in smaller cities. Other questions?
Yes. Sir, excuse me, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. What size shoes are you?
Oh, Charlie's back. Is this a different character?
No, it's not Charlie. It's me, Ariel. No. How did you find the venues? Because obviously one of the biggest things, like, okay, in Warsaw, like sometimes a venue will come to us because we have connections or because I DJ or some shit.
Maybe before this question, we should start from when do you think you are ready enough to start a tour?
Thank God.
When
do you ask that? Because I was just pulling that question out of my ass. I don't give a shit.
Really saved Ariel's ass with that one. Yeah.
When popped up in your mind, maybe I can do a solo tour.
Right.
And what was the process from let's think about it and then let's do it?
Because I think people think that I went just from only doing open mics to, I can do a solo show now. And it was more complicated than that. In February, I followed around a comedian on his tour. I was just filming him, Victor Petrashkin, a Romanian comedian, and sort of saw at multiple shows like what it's like to tour, what are the steps, like what's the marketing like, and learned a lot from him just about the concept in general of doing your own solo tour that's profitable. Then I opened for a couple of comedians. I opened for Andre de Freitas. So I did a 3-city tour with him. I did 15 to 20 minutes and he did his hour. And I, with Holly Blay in Krakow, with her help, set up that tour, and your help also, Beatrice, set up that tour and did the marketing. I'm sure you did something. She looks confused, but anything Comedy Hole does or I do, Beatrice has helped with in some way. And so learned a lot from that just by actually performing at the tour, like as an opener. And then I opened for a guy named Dragos, another Romanian comedian, 3 shows in Warsaw, and sort of learned a bit about his way of doing things. I had also hosted dozens of shows at that point, and a lot of doing a solo show is hosting skills, is just being the one who has to control the crowd. And I do it totally alone, so I also have to warm up the crowd if they're amenable to being warmed up. So doing probably 200 or so shows, hosting dozens of shows, and having opened on tours before and having a window into the marketing stuff made me feel confident that I could set it all up, promote it, get people there, and execute. I also did a free show first. So I went to the middle of nowhere in Lublin, booked a venue, did a free hour. It went well. And only after that was I like, let's try to repeat this process. Is that super exciting?
Well,
where's Charlie?
I would like to ask a question. I realized while you were speaking that popped into my head. How much oil does it take to oil your robot joints, you robot, with your robot answer? You fucking robot!
Don't fight. I feel like a kid between two parents.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jordan, it's a little joke. It's a fun little joke.
A thing about, it was 3 weeks, and also did open mics and spots in between the shows. So in 3 weeks, I probably did 15, 16 shows. I was performing 5 to 6 days a week and traveling, and it was really exhausting, and I'm still tired. That's
really.
I have something to say. I think that with Jordan that did the solo tour, he kind of overcame the stereotype that you can only do a solo show after years of doing comedy, because doing a tour, as Jordan will say, it's not only about the material you have, which of course needs to be tailored, but also about all the organizing part, which people have no idea, but it's like how much in percentage?
It's so
It's
much
like
more work to
70%.
set up and promote the show than do the show.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it's so much more to put people in seats.
Yeah.
And do all the organizational stuff. It's a lot.
And I think that Jordan, it's true that he's giving he's like an example for other comedians of the Warsaw community, but also don't forget that Jordan is working a lot hard on marketing stuff. And people should also try to follow that as an example. Not only, okay, let's do the solo show or the tour or whatever. It's a work. It's a job.
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
a
absolutely.
solo.
I mean, listen, I joke around and I like to tease you, and I think I said I will never tease you again about your show because that's all I was doing to Jordan. I was like, "Great show, idiot."
For a straight week. Well,
And
you said not a great show.
But yeah, not a good show, idiot. I
saw
hated
it was bad.
And but like I'm joking around because I like to tease a person who's like I literally came to your show in Warsaw and it was like 100 people. It was nice to see, and my true feelings about it, feelings about it are is like excitement and happiness for it, because it really pumps me up to see something like that. And that's the thing I see also beyond the actual show is like how much time you spend on putting it together and marketing and all these bookings and like setting up the tour is like, it's a lot of work besides just coming up with the material of the show. And so I am super pumped, but I will make fun of you for the
because
rest of the episode.
I think you can also have the best material. You can have the best hour ever, but you don't know how to sell it, and then you will not be able
get
to
bored
do
of the
a show.
material and you won't do it anymore.
Or maybe you have the worst material ever, but you're very good in marketing.
Yeah,
and
like
then
me.
That's true too.
I do 70 minutes on stage. 20 to 25 of that is crowd work.
35. I'm kidding. I don't know. Relax.
I have it all written.
And
down.
also, Ariel, I think
I have
don't
the
forget.
data. I have the data.
Yeah, robot.
Don't forget, this was his first solo, and I think it was great result. Like he had great result in stats term.
So talking about just the show itself and the content. Like most of these, probably 20 minutes of the material is stuff that I'm not wild about, and you shouldn't probably tour with stuff that you're not crazy about. But I padded it enough with stuff that works really well that at the end of the show, except maybe Warsaw, people seemed even in Warsaw, I got a lot of criticism from the comedians in Warsaw after the show.
Wait. Did I say something right after the show?
No, but there was a comedian who did.
Okay.
But also, you know that people like to tease you because you look like an asshole sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and also comedians, they do it because they are your friend. If they were not your friend, they will never like do that.
Yeah.
In Warsaw, it was the last show of the tour. I was the most tired. Wasn't excited for it. And I partly did it because I knew that I could sell tickets there. And this is now all I do. So I needed the money.
So you need it.
Yeah.
Now, what did you learn, Jordan, from your Warsaw show?
No, from all, I want to know about the tour.
I want to know the specific Warsaw show.
Warsaw show, what threw me off the most in that show was we had set up the lighting perfectly. And the lighting guy was like, all right, I'm off. Like, someone from the bar will monitor it. And I was like, okay, that's probably fine. And then I'm up on stage, and within a few minutes, suddenly the perfect lighting, like nice blue background, like white up front, like very clean and nice and happy, becomes a hellish red landscape suddenly that I have to adapt to on stage and be like, oh, this is weird. And I had people tell me that they thought it was on purpose. And I was like, well, hopefully more people would have laughed.
Here's what a person I was in the very back, be colorblind. It doesn't I could give a two shits about the color.
But it threw me off.
Yeah, but
and
who
so
cares?
it threw me off because I care. Because
he was about to do 1 hour show with a light he didn't like, and sometimes little details can
just
impact.
tweak you, right?
Yeah, I would say you have to get over that quicker.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm a year in, so stuff like that still throws me off. And
so you are colorblind, but many people
so it
are
didn't
not.
matter to you because you're colorblind.
Maybe
so in that sense,
we know that red is not a good color for lighting.
Not just that, but there wasn't really. There was like a spotlight effect previously, and now it was just all red.
Yeah,
red me, red
and
background,
we know that
red audience.
he doesn't look good in red.
Yeah, I've already got a red face.
It would be like something like someone takes off their shirt and it's a different shirt underneath, and you're like, oh, that's weird, and that's it. That's as far as it went in my mind.
So someone posted during the show like Jordan performing in a hellish landscape. Like for me, it was like,
all right, maybe I'm just colorblind.
So the lesson learned is like, I had even asked before the show. This is a venue I like a lot, but I asked before the show, like, does someone know how to work the lights? Because I've gone there before, and no one knows how to work the lights, and they've got to call somebody, and it's a mad dash.
Yeah.
This time there was someone who knew how to work them perfectly, but then he just left. So I think next time I would bring someone I know, like we talked about, to run the lights. Basically, what I've learned is you want to control as many aspects of possible, or have someone you directly trust be controlling them, or unless it's a venue that you've already worked with and not had any problems with, because many things can go wrong. For me, for instance, I have a guitar. I need a mic stand. I need certain other things that I will, if I don't trust the venue at all, I will arrive with a mic stand. Even though that should be a basic thing. More than once I've shown up and there's no mic stand, and then it's, as a performer with a guitar,
like we were in Lublin.
Big problem.
Like in Lublin. I ran for the mic stand, baby.
Thank you, Ariel.
Sure. But you had a connection. You found a mic stand, and so I went and ran for it.
Yeah. So lesson learned from lessons on the tour. I don't know.
Here's the thing, Jordan. Don't you see? The lesson you have to learn is the only thing you control is your mind. Your mind is the only thing you can control. Look,
he is joking, but I'm not joking. Right.
I'm just speaking this way.
And I believe, I believe that for a solo tour is essential to
control your mind.
To get to the point that you can control your mind more than the rest.
But I don't see that as a lesson learned. That's something that comes out of experience that I don't quite have yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way to think of it.
I'm just saying true to both because I don't want you to fight.
No, we're not fighting. We're not fighting.
We had a good chat before, and I like teasing him.
We're hugging.
I'm jerking him off right now.
You're both right.
Why are you making me do this?
See?
We're amazing. Good. Now they are jerking off.
She's joining in the improv. All right.
I can't finish. All right.
You can finish your point, not the fake masturbation. No. Okay. All right. Do you have a question, Beatrice?
Yes. Can you explain to us...
No, you don't have a question at all. Wait.
He's coming up with an
to finish.
My English is bad. I need time to formulate my questions.
Shh, let her speak. Let her speak.
Take 5 minutes to think about it.
No, but maybe you have a question.
I mean, I will reiterate the thing that I said before with a jokey voice, that like, I do think it's true. That's a very good thing to control. Even we spoke after your show that like, well, if you have a person on lights and music, we have someone like that that we've worked with. Hire them, and then so it's absolutely good to do that. So control as many things in that sense, as technical sense, for sure, absolutely. But also in the end, if something fucks up, which might happen, it's just
you just have to go with it. And I did.
You did,
but
in my mind, you did.
But for me, it negatively affected the show. Like I'm not sure how. For instance, what if the lights went out? Like I'm supposed to turn an hour show into like a. Be dancing with the phone light, like I think some things you just, or maybe even warrant. At the break, I probably should have gone and like being like, "Hey, is there any way we can fix this?"
Sure.
But I'm not sure we could have. Yes, I agree, but still, I'm just the kind of performer I think where I like to be in control of most aspects, and probably I need to work on getting over it when things don't go exactly how I want.
Yeah,
but. I think things do go better when the sound guy, for instance, doesn't care about a really loud buzzing, and I'm like, no, let's find out where that source is and let's fix that.
Yeah, also because those small details, they impact the audience experience, in my opinion, even in small shows. If, for example, when we went to Lublin, because with the comedy hall, we went to Lublin, we were in 5, right? And the light was red the entire time on our face, and the show was great, but still I think it could have been better.
If it had a spotlight, and they had a spotlight.
Yeah.
They had a spotlight, but they were like, no, we don't have a spotlight, because they didn't know how to work it. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I didn't have it in me to like try to overpower that. And it also wasn't my show. I
will say that, when it comes down to the show in Warsaw with the light, you handled it very well. Like, I mean, you just were basically like, oh, what am I forget what you said.
I'm performing in hell now.
Can you stop to talk about this fucking light? Now it's 30 minutes we're talking about this.
Hey, we're having a natural flow of conversation,
For
Beatrice.
a moment that I...
We're so pissed off. What happened? Bea's so pissed right now.
One member of this podcast always tries to stop it when we're having a natural flow of conversation. Isn't it Beatrice and not me?
Okay, all right. Yeah, Jordan is bragging.
Jordan is just Jordan.
So no, I'm not saying it more in terms of your show. I'm saying it more for your own mental health, like in terms of like to not blow up over a thing that might be a big thing in your mind, but really from an audience perspective, that wasn't a big thing. You did 30 minutes of crowd work. I would have changed that.
Destroyed the recording.
I'm kidding.
Yes, this is the kind of thing. Usually,
I have a real question, and let's fucking stop to talk about this light.
Unless
because we understood there was the light was wrong. You need to learn from this, but also it was a light.
Yeah,
and he did a 7 cities show. Like now, let's not focus about the light because I'm more interested in, for example, all the marketing you did. How did you build up everything to make sure that you would sell 100 tickets in a venue?
I think it's very good. And yeah, what I want to talk about now is the light and the... okay, no. I do want to bring up his crowd work comment.
Sure.
Is what I'll call it, because...
Is that anything?
Well, the Warsaw crowd, and every time I've performed in Hydra Zagadka, it's been a mediocre experience, is what I'll say. Like, performed on the Andre tour, we finished it there, and it was, for me, the worst show. For him, it was fine. And with Dragos, like there was one show and it went amazing, and then a couple other shows at Hydro where I opened, it just not as much fun as, for instance, Gdańsk. Same number of people, but I don't know why. Łódź, similar number of people. I don't know why, but that venue I just tend to not do great. So, talking about doing so much crowd work, how it went, for instance, in Łódź or Wrocław is there's a flow to that crowd work that kind of never got built in Warsaw. And for instance, answering the audience questions for 10 minutes is just 10 minutes second half that usually combines the room and like gets everyone on the same page, and the second half goes great because everyone is congealed. But like, for instance, people were writing weird problems, like long rambly ones.
Sorry, wait, go back for the audience of
I think
like what's the problems?
Oh yeah, so before the show, I have people write down problems. I put them in the problem jar, and then I open the second half. We do 25 minutes, a 15-minute break, and then the second half is around 45 minutes. Open the second half with just taking these problems and answering or solving them on stage and reacting to them. And typically that goes well to the point where I will try to stop answering problems. I'll be like, all right, that's enough. And then people who haven't had their problem solved go like, no, like, which in Warsaw, that wouldn't have happened because people didn't seem to care. And that's...
Maybe it can be also the venue. Like the venue itself that is...
It doesn't lend itself to crowd work.
Yeah, because it's very wide. It's
people are way in the back, like behind some pillars.
Very in the back.
I will say, listen, for DJing, there's certain venues that a certain style will work better. Like lower ceilings, you play dirty reggae, you'd play some like soca music, meaning like Latino music or just dirty trap, like big bass, it reverberates and you feel it and you get low with your dancing and you feel like because the ceiling's right there, you kind of start grinding more. People get more sexual. Open stadium is U2 is like big fucking
yeah.
And I was in the very back, mind you. I'm a bad audience member in terms of your show because I've heard those jokes many times. But like I can appreciate your songs, and when you're like doing your jokes, I can appreciate, oh, that worked, that didn't, that worked. Most of that worked. It was the alienation of the back row when it's a low ceiling and also it goes far back. It doesn't really end. Like the audience kind of ends because of the amount of seating that we put there.
Yeah.
And so like when you talk to, hey, Jim, what do you think about this, Jim? And then everyone laughs. Like slowly but surely, you keep going back to Jim. People in the back don't know what Jim looks like. If you had screens that showed Jim, at some point you will. If you had that, then it would change the whole show for me.
Yeah.
Because I could see what does Jim look like.
Yeah, there was an elderly man in the front called Rupert. That I got a lot, and the front section loved it.
Of course.
After he told me after the show.
Totally.
No, but for sure.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, this DJ thing is very interesting because actually we can learn from that.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's true. Like, there's a few things like with flow of energy and shape of the room makes such a huge difference for the feel of people. Like, definitely. I think what I used to think when I was younger, and I still, I guess, do, it's like the more sky you see, the happier you are, usually. Like, it's just openness and you kind of feel freer. And if you are in an apartment where there's no windows, you're not going to feel great.
Yeah.
So with that said, that room is possible. I think it was just like, I think your crowd work's good. Like you should definitely do crowd work. It's just for that room, I noticed even guys in front of me started talking to each other when you were doing crowd work.
You just burp while you were talking?
I did burp. Sorry, my bad.
Beatrice hates burping, by the way.
No, I don't.
Beatrice, have you ever burped?
No, I hate farts.
Farts?
Yeah, farts is worse.
Have you ever farted?
In secret.
In secret? To an envelope, and I sent it to my lover.
She puts them all in a jar, and then she throws the jar in the ocean once every week.
All right, I don't want to know.
When if there are people, I don't fart, or I go like in silence.
So when you're alone,
I go to the toilet. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought
alone, I do whatever I want, but with other people, I don't.
Are you ever sleeping in the same bed as someone, and you're turned?
No, loser.
You're turned away from them, and they're like cuddling you from behind, like they're the big spoon, you're the little spoon, and then.
I fucking love being a little spoon.
And then you're a little spoon, and then you wake yourself up with a fart, and you realize that you farted on them. Has that ever happened to you?
No, although I could imagine it could.
Yeah.
No,
Probably you've done it and spoken up them because it's like people fart in their sleep. But,
I've done that just laying next to somebody where I just like fart and like wake myself up, and then I'm like, don't move, don't wake them up, don't wake them up, don't wake them up.
Exactly.
Did they wake up? I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pretend I'm not awake.
Or try to make a different kind of noise, like brr, with your mouth, so that like, oh,
no, I don't do this.
I haven't done that.
What's that noise?
No, this is weird.
You must have been woken up by some noise like that. Okay.
No, but
all right. Back to the topic.
Let's go back to the topic.
Wait, no. What was
DJing open sky venues? I think
so.
Adapting to the venue, I think, is important, and that's another thing where it's difficult, especially to tour as an inexperienced comedian, because you don't have much to draw on to like change the direction of the ship.
Sure.
When you don't like where it's going necessarily.
Do you think that in big venues with, let's say, this type of setup, so like you can have 100 people, but in a way that are like well seated around the stage or whatever, but in those large venue, the crowd work is still a thing to do?
I think you should, but he's right that I should de-emphasize it and maybe even have a better feel of what's happening in the back. Because I don't remember anything. I didn't see anyone talking, but we're talking about people way in the back, like distance-wise, pretty far from me.
Here's the thing that I'll say is like, listen, like when I said about you being 1 year into this, a lot of this stuff is experience because one of the things you can do as a comedian or in general, you're in an area or a venue that you're going to perform at. One thing they taught us in improv is like every mistake is a gift. It's like makes the joke. And so you can make fun of it. You can be in a place for the first time that, I mean, it's similar to another place you performed at, but that comes with the experience. And you can point out the difficulties. Oh, I see that this section in the back won't hear as well. And you use all these things and then put it into your show. Like, backstage, you can't fucking hear me because of this pillar or whatever it is. And like kind of make it part of your show and it makes it better. Like, but that comes with experience. I can't tell you. I wouldn't know if I walked into Hydrozagadka, I would have no idea about the advice I'm giving you right now about your show. I would have fucking no idea.
And Tom Segura talks about performing in stadiums, and he'll have to like sometimes mug to the people in the back every now and then just to like make them feel like they're paid attention to.
There you go. Because he probably heard someone spoke about that, and he was like, "Oh yeah,
we should go to some musical concert just to see how they do in large venue, and we will copy that."
You just want to go to a concert? Tom Segura is coming in April.
In Warsaw?
To Berlin. Jim Jeffries is coming in April as well.
Jimmy Jeffs. Yeah, I'll go. Sure.
We need to buy the tickets.
Yeah, let's do it.
A quick note on...
Next to each other, Bea?
Yeah.
Because Bea wanted to talk about marketing and promo, which...
what a stupid whore.
One of the hardest things. I think I now have enough of a grasp on it that for me right now, the hardest thing is booking the venues in an order that makes sense. So I'm now trying to do a tour in Spain and like getting a row of cities that it makes sense to travel to within a specific range of dates and finding venues that all have availabilities those specific dates is like a logistical, for me, a nightmare. For Bea, I'm sure would be a fun thing to do. But in terms of the business side of it, part of the reason I chose not to find marketing work is because I do believe that this is a viable career. And from this tour, this was the first one. And I can't do this exact thing every month we've talked about, but just getting into the numbers, sold about 3,700 euros worth of tickets across the 3 weeks. A lot of expenses therein, but at the end of the day, total just take home after all expenses and like taxes is still a little above the Polish average salary. For 1 month. For 1 month.
Yeah.
And the idea is to get it rolling that you can do this. In Poland, I think you make less money than other countries. So the real money is made in other parts of Western Europe. But yeah, the marketing part, do you want to get into that?
As you wish.
As you wish, Jordan.
I think it's a robot. It's a step-by-step thing. Step one. I think step one is venues.
Oh yeah, venues. Right. How to find venues? Contact Beatrice Rossano.
And then she'll contact Ariel Bialski.
Maybe for some venues.
For the only venue.
Beatrice Rossano.
I helped you.
Beatrice Rossano is going to start producing a lot more tours for people.
Yes.
So if you want help, she can do it all.
Oh yeah. Listen, I might cut this out, but there was a guy who contacted me about January, and he's coming from Las Vegas or something. But I was like, well, I don't have any shows there, and then I didn't even think of booking him somewhere because like
send it to me.
So I'll send him your way, and then because Bea, listen, when it comes down to it, from the comedy hole, Bea is the key to the ignition of the car. And then we have to fucking do all the work.
No, but also I really love to produce shows.
No, she's
the navigation system.
She's a very very good.
And also Ariel think that I don't know how to deal with people. So
Polish people. No. Polish people.
But I know how to deal with Polish.
I mean, yeah, but I've heard some examples, and you don't.
Just when I got a fine on the bus for 3 minutes, only for 3 minutes, and I got mad.
And you're like, what kind of boots are these? Well, these are fucking terrible boots. Buy yourself better boots.
Pizza.
And then she's like,
but then
where do you eat?
I think you probably changed. I mean, now I talk with the girl directly because basically this show that.
You contacted her. It was
yes,
okay?
We talk.
Okay, great.
I will not ruin your relationship with her. No worries.
She's awesome. She's a cool person.
Yes, she's very helpful. Okay, and then, but so venues, let's not talk about it. Just send people to me.
Yeah.
To Bea. Yeah.
Bea
knows how. No, how. Wait. Hold on. How do you know?
How do you know?
Yeah. How do you know the?
It's the button doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Sorry, I was pointing at my microphone button because I press it because I'm nervous talking to Jordan with his cute hair.
So what was the question?
The question is, how do you know venues?
Because I have sex with the owners.
That's what it's missing.
There's two ways to do it. There are venues that routinely do comedy stuff, and sometimes they're even part of tour circuits where comedians will just book. Most of the venues from this tour are venues that other comedians have booked English tours therein. And then you can just reach out.
Let's also say that sometimes venues do not book the venue itself for some shows because maybe they don't know the person. So it's always better to book through someone else.
Through the Comedy Hole, for instance.
Yes.
And they will listen to you.
That makes sense. Yeah, that this group can vouch for you.
Yes.
Why not book through the Comedy Hole or whatever?
Exactly.
Because they know what's going on. So at the Comedy Hole, check it out. That's what you're listening to right now. If you don't know who you are, why the hell are you listening?
It's an advertisement for Beatrice's production company.
But after the, let's say you book the venue, okay? Let's say that you book the venue. What's the next steps?
Yeah,
Poster.
Jordan.
Which, if you want to make a poster for your event, contact Beatrice Rossano and she'll.
No.
Theme, like what is your show? What would make people want to come see you beyond just you?
But you should have this before, no?
I booked the venues all in a row before I really knew what the theme or the content of the show was going to be.
Pressure makes diamonds.
I don't know if this is a recommendation. Like
that's to each his own.
This is you. This is you because
this is me.
Yeah.
For me, I knew I had 3 weeks to get it all done, and I knew I could put a show together in that amount of time because I had already done a test hour somewhere else. There was no theme to it. It was just like a bunch of my best material and songs. But I landed on why Poland? Exclamation part. To draw expats, because in Poland everyone knows this question and everyone is annoyed by this question. And it did, I think, successfully bring in people. Like there was a French guy who came to the Gdansk show and he was like, I saw on the Eventbrite this why Poland? And I thought, I must go to this.
And he was like, les poissons,
and then he was like, les poissons. And he was like, les bouffe, bonsoir.
I don't know if you're making a joke or
it's
is
an
that
inside joke for 5 people that hate that song. Okay.
I don't know what that song is.
It's Le Bouffe Bonsoir.
Well, I know Les Poissons.
Le Bouffe Bonsoir. It's a future smash hit. Trust me.
My bad.
Okay.
You're losing.
So the theme.
No.
Let's crowd work, Jordan. Let's crowd work. Okay.
Yeah.
So the theme. I'm in the back.
You need a concept for your show. I think unless you're famous, people might not come to see you because your name is John Smith or so and so. Like you need to have a theme, whether it's dating or being an immigrant. Like Victor Petrashkin has a
dating immigrants.
Victor Petrashkin's show is The Dirty Immigrant, for instance, and he has another show called Failing
Then,
Love.
mind you, we are in Europe, so there's specific things for each country, and
The Dirty Immigrant might not work in the US.
I believe that what you are saying is that unless you are not a famous comedian that can have a show called Jordan Thomas Gray Live in Melbourne, you will have to sell your tickets. And how do you sell your tickets to people that don't know who you are? Is you sell the message of what is the tour about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like a reason to go to see the show.
Very good. Your English is very good.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised.
Yeah, good job.
I'm surprised. No, but it's because when I go to business things, even at work and in this, I get super focused and my English gets better.
Mm-hmm. And then so if you have your concept, you're the Italian pizza lady.
Yeah.
With Beatrice Rossano.
Italian pizza lady is a very
pretty good
yet won't sell
name for your show.
tickets.
It will. All the Italians will come.
Italian pizza
the
lady.
Italians will not come because they will hate.
And they'll be like, that's
and
so
if Beatrice is on the poster, then they'll come too because you're pretty.
But then you don't need the Italian pizza lady is just a funny name, but
Pizza Gina.
Pizza Gina is pretty good, actually.
It's like vagina, but pizza.
Wow.
Gina. Pizza Gina.
Or whatever. Okay, off topic.
Yes, off topic.
Make an attractive poster that doesn't look like complete shit is the next step.
So don't ask Ariel Bialski to make your posters.
No,
he is
don't.
colorblind.
And also, he doesn't have any taste.
By the way, wait, before we go on, because I did for the Ukrainian, I don't know if we said this before on the podcast, I put my old poster, which I made, which was all blue, and then I put
purple. Your poster is purple.
Purple? Really? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm colorblind. And so it's purple. And then I put over the Ukrainian flag because we were doing a Ukrainian flag like charity show. And I didn't realize those colors blend and it wasn't the Ukrainian flag anymore. And I was like, come support Ukraine. And it was like green and red.
Exactly. Come support Italy.
Well, I'm an idiot. That's all. See, I'm an idiot too, Jordan.
So poster needs to be professional, look like
professional
made.
Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Fiverr or ask Bea.
Yeah, Bea made my poster.
Charge more.
No. True.
But you'll get a better result. Okay, poster.
Yes. So next thing about the tour. How was performing your first show? Was it so exciting and stressful?
Extremely stressful. Especially the first, because I open for myself. I do like 25 minutes, do the crowd work, and do like some material that is like fine, but I'm like less excited about. And then I end on a song that always works. In the first 10 minutes, I like could barely breathe. I would say that's what it felt like. My chest was very tight. I was so nervous, but there were 100 people there.
Which was the biggest show you played so far?
No, I had opened for people who brought 150.
Gotcha.
But for sure, just for me, people to see just me, it was like, this is great. Sort of validated for me that this might be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I was very stiff in the first half, and then I kind of loosened up in the second half, and then then we had an after party, hung out with people from the show. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Gotcha. So good. So the show went. How did you feel about the reaction of the audience? Did you feel like, ooh, I could do better with this and that, or were you like, that went well?
I think I was so like tight and stiff for the first bit. I was really worried it was going to be a bad show.
Tight and stiff is my kind of night. All right. No? Anyone?
Just like, when you don't fully inhale ever, you're talking like kind of without really breathing in a lot, like,
yeah.
Sure. And to fix that, you have to be like, but you cannot do that while you're
you make up a bit about breathing.
Yeah, yeah. And then is anyone else incredibly nervous? Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if that happens again. I should come up with a reason to do that, because that does fix that for me. But I felt like, God, my shirt is tight. I'm so fat. Like, I just felt like people would see if I breathed too much. And I
also, because let's tell to the audience that you don't move on the stage. No. That you don't move on the stage, like you are fixed in your position.
I've started to move, but when I'm feeling like that,
I wouldn't think that. Okay,
no, I mean, Jordan does move like me or like you. Like he's more, he sits, he move his hands or a bit.
If I move, it's now
body.
Very intentional and part of
and
it's like
it's
I have
not
the juggler bit.
It's not part of your
natural
character,
way of being. Yeah,
let's say, because for me, Ariel movements are part of your being comic.
Right.
And the same is for me. If I will not move, I feel like I forget things. So I move to remember things.
Okay.
So, but I could tell the audience was definitely winnable, but I needed to fucking relax, essentially. And part of the reason I don't have an opener when I do these shows is because I less feel like the audience needs to warm up and more than I need to warm up. So I do the 20 minutes up top. And then by the end of that, I'm feeling pretty good. And then sort of the second half, Jordan is bragging / reporting back what was said. An audience member came up to me and he was like, yeah, like I could tell you're kind of nervous in the first half, but then the second half, you just smashed it out of the park. So great job. And that's, I need to warm up,
Mm-hmm.
And maybe eventually I won't have to, but I still feel a little bit like, I need to be on stage for like 10
but also
minutes
it was your first experience, and you didn't want to give the responsibility to one less experienced comedian, let's say, to do a job that you will not know how it will end up to be.
Right. If I had gotten someone to open for me and they bombed, and then I go up and it takes me 10 minutes to like rev up, that's bad.
Now, of course, we're speaking about first experience. This is Jordan doing shows after a year of comedy, and it's a 1 hour show. So it's really an incredible feat. So we're just talking about improvements and things like that. Now, don't you think that revving yourself up in front of the audience, like, is there another approach you could do that you are able to be on as soon as you hit the stage?
Probably
with
I
experience.
Need to talk to other, with experience, I need to talk to other people who do this regularly.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that might work is starting with a song, which I tried at Norblin, and I think that worked.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
So
I like that very much, actually.
One thing I could maybe do is just get up on stage and just, as if I'm a serious musician, and then do a ridiculous song that cannot be taken seriously, but like with kind of the, and then slowly,
Sure.
and then slowly warm up the crowd that way. And then I think I can rev up much faster through a song. Yeah, that would be something I try next show.
That's the thing. The thing I asked is more like a rhetorical question because I think it comes from experience.
Yeah.
It's like you'll figure that out as you go along. I know a director when I was in high school, he was saying like the stuff where you go on stage before you're saying like me, like that kind of stuff with your voice and stuff. No audience member wants to see that shit. Go backstage and do that.
Yeah.
Like it's more for the performer that wants to. You did not do this for your show, but like this was the kind of what I related to is that no one really wants to see that. It's like the performer maybe wants to perform in front of people and they think that that's cool. That they see the person warming up and shaking their arms and whatever. No one gives a shit. They want to see the show. So yeah, I don't know what you would do in order to change that. I think it's just time, and it's a great beginning that you started with. So
thanks, Ariel. Those are very kind words.
Give me that dick again. Yeah. Oh, finish it all.
Bea is now just on her phone.
No. I listened to that.
Listen, and what did he say?
No, but.
Sorry, I forgot my
God, no, Chad,
back.
go away.
It's not Chad, it's Charlie.
It's Ariel.
Charlie.
But wait.
Hold on, I gotta get my coat. It's my bad. Sorry, I'm ruining your podcast.
That's all right, Charlie.
After this,
we'll come to see your show. Bye, Charlie.
Division X.
After this, we need to talk about the Fringe.
Maybe we transition. Well, what else we got?
You said trans.
Okay, in terms of a big thing, not relying on other people is not, I wish that wasn't a lesson that I keep having to learn. I mean...
Really? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
On you guys, but like random people I don't know, fuck no. For as an example, before the Krakow show, and I don't mind talking about this, even though, whatever, a guy messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I've seen your TikTok. Really excited to see you perform in Krakow." And I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks. Like I'll see you at the show." And then he was like, "Maybe I could come and like record the show in 4K for you." He specified in 4K for some reason. Would that be cool? And I was like, I usually record my own shows, and I was like, okay, yeah, I won't have to bring like my nice camera, this guy is willing to do that. And I was like, yeah, that would actually be very nice if you would do that. So I don't bring my nice camera. I'm just recording with my iPad. The guy comes half an hour before the show, and he's like, okay, where do you want the camera to be? And he's holding an iPhone SE. And what's for people, that is like a 5 to 7 year old iPhone.
Okay.
And then immediately I'm like, okay, this guy is officially a liability. He's also like, I can also like record audio. I hope it's good enough. And he opens his shirt a little bit and he shows that he's already wearing a lavalier mic that he would want to put on me. And I was like, that's deeply weird. Like, why would you show up to the show wearing the audio recording device?
Would switch from his own body to yours?
I think he he thinks that recording video is something that it's not. And he's also maybe never done it.
Listen, maybe he was testing something. I don't know. No. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Very old iPhone means you do not know what the fuck
maybe he was a weirdo.
Doing.
That's it. It's like a lie.
Yeah. So wait, because he was a weirdo. So he was like, "Where do you want it?" I was like, "Oh, anywhere is good." Because in my head, I'm like, "Okay, now I've got to record with my iPad and like with my phone and stuff, and just not ignore this guy, but be nice to him." And then he sets the phone up somewhere, and he's like, I think it's going to be a really good angle. I hope my battery lasts. And I was like, okay, yeah, like enjoying the show. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And after the show, he starts basically just harassing every woman in the place, sort of one by one, including a couple of people that I'm with.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Get out of here, Charlie.
Like he's drunkenly talking to following the bartender around when she clearly doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And then there's a way. I'm with two female friends, right? And he's been hitting on them individually, like all night, trying to get like he was even saying things like, "Are you here to have sex? Like, are you gonna have sex with Jordan?" He just is maximum weirdo kind of stuff.
Wait, sorry. How did this guy contact you?
Just Facebook Messenger, just out of the blue.
There's your issue.
And but he had like a nice profile picture. He had like a couple thousand Instagram followers, which I'm realizing are probably purchased.
It's an old adage called "Don't judge a book by its cover."
Yeah. But anyway,
colorblind.
And
exactly,
he's harassing these people. He was telling people that like I had reached out to him to like have him help with the show, which is just false.
I think Jordan, you're getting into the weeds about this story.
Okay, so
yes,
we can cut this part out. But what ended up happening was so he was harassing the two women I was with, and then I went to go get my stuff, and then he had come over and just talking now to both of them, like almost like pleadingly trying to get one of them to come home with him or something. And then I went up to both of them. They're just my friends. And I was like, all right, you guys want to go? And they were like, yeah. And then they both went with me. And he's in shock because he thinks that it's a threesome situation, which it was not. But we all sort of understand that he's going to think that. And then as he's like looking at us like, oh, I guess it's like that then, one of the girls is like, you might want to zip up your pants. And because his pants were unzipped. And it was a beautiful moment. And worth all that. And we could probably cut out this story if it doesn't fully work.
No, it's fine.
No, let's keep it.
I'm down.
But
anyway, we lost the audience already at the beginning of the stuff.
I'm like, okay, never talking to this guy again. Like, he's probably not even going to reach out about the footage. And if he does reach out about the footage, I'm going to just be like, it's all good. Like, don't worry about it. He reaches out.
Did you put on the lav mic?
No.
You didn't put it on.
I just told him that I had a different recording situation, which I did. And no, thank you. So he just did the phone.
It's not a bad idea.
I've done it before. I get a live feed from the house.
Yeah, the house.
Yeah, so the mic, directly from the mic. Yeah. And I have room mics as well.
Fair enough. That's good.
The lav, you get noise.
Yeah. There's no reason.
Okay, so he reaches out a few days later, and he's like, "Hey, it was great to meet you. Turns out there wasn't enough storage on my phone, so nothing got recorded." Like, and then like. Face palmy face, and I'm just like, all good, man.
Right.
Thanks for coming to the show.
See, at that point, I'd be like, what a waste of my time you have been.
I just wanted to be I just never want to talk to or see or think about this person again.
Yeah. Well, it's too late. You put it out on a podcast.
And the lesson learned is don't trust anyone to do things unless you are already sure that they are competent and know how to do it.
I understand what you're saying. There's a certain negativity that comes with that.
Sure.
Just keep in mind that like think about it even this way. Forget about that guy. That guy's a specific person, and this will happen many times in your life because you're going to keep doing tours. That one possible thing is that someone's excited and is new, and they fucked up because they're excited to do something for you, and they could be good, but like they fuck up. And
sure.
So it's like I once was interviewed for a job that I didn't need to get. I could care less. And one of the things he asked is, what would you do if...
Like I care about this story?
Yeah, good one, Bea. I wish I could laugh, but I
don't know why I wanted to be mean with Ariel.
Non parlo Italiano.
You saw my style and you want to copy it. That's what's going on.
I'm actually, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes stories that are boring in the room are very interesting to listeners, guys.
Oof. Be you.
For instance, any story that Beatrice tells.
You should have seen Bea's face when she was like insulting. I've got one. Here it comes.
Who cares? Like, who cares, Ariel?
Bea, I saw you were trying to copy me. And like, yeah, my bad. But anyways, no. All I was saying is that someone who is worse than you at a job, it's easier to get annoyed at them.
Sure.
And
but
so
I'm talking about total incompetence.
Yes, and absolutely, and you'll encounter that many times. But you also now you'll know, like someone says, "Oh, I'm going to record your show." You say, fine, but I have my own recording equipment. If yours is better, then I will use yours and then I'll give you credit. And that's a little bit of an incentive for them to do their fucking job well and maybe even hire them in the future.
Weirdos.
Yeah, but also, like you don't rely on them even if they say that, but also you don't dismiss them.
Sure. And I'm very nice to people, but I've given a couple people, I paid a guy to record one show and he did a very meh job. And it's just, I thanked him and I paid him and I just won't hire him again.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the audio engineer in Wrocław. He was great. Very, very good, cool guy.
That was your best show?
It wasn't my best show.
Best audio engineer, though?
I don't want to say that.
You love them all.
But he was really cool and did his job very well.
I think they had sex. Don't tell Jordan, though, that I think he's gay. But anyways, hey, Jordan.
This is. We'll cut this out. He told me he's seen a lot of shows and it was the best one he's ever seen.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Why would we cut that out? Jordan is bragging.
No, let's not cut this out.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you're just bragging.
Sound engineer from Wrocław that never saw many shows in his life. No,
he said he's seen a lot of Polish comedy shows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's the main venue for Wrocław.
I'm trying to be mean, but I pay.
I don't think it suits you.
Wait.
It doesn't suit me.
Wait. Let's play Bea is mean to Ariel for 1 minute.
Okay.
Do we have to have a topic or it's just me in general? All right.
You never have a topic.
All right. Oh, you already started. I was going to say start, but okay. All right.
Also, Jordan can. No, you need to talk. You need to say something. Otherwise, I can. Can be mean.
Bea, you look like a fetus, all curled up on the couch.
I
right
look
now.
like what?
A fetus? No, I don't know. It's not a good picture. Listen, it's just you have your knees. Fetus? It's like the baby in the stomach.
But no, you don't have to be mean. I have to be mean.
Exactly. That's what
you are not mean. I am meaner.
Okay. Is that mean? I don't know if that's like mean.
Also, Jordan needs to participate in this game.
You're dumb.
No,
yeah, do you think I'm dumb?
No.
I think you both are fucking stupid.
All right. Hey, we did it. All right. I like it. Okay, good.
And guys, let's wrap up with
this.
Next tour, Jordan, you planning Spain, right?
Spain, that's the plan. Spain, and then I wanted to do like Oslo, Copenhagen, then some Germany.
Now remember.
And also, let's not forget that we will do our first festival together. That's a tour.
The Brighton Fringe.
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm pumped again.
When is it again?
From the 28th to the 31st of May.
Oh, I can't make it.
No, I'm pumped about that because last time we went was in Italy and it was so much fun. And you will be gone in December 11th.
Yeah.
11th?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're gone. And so we'll be taking over the shows, I guess. But then you're back when?
February. Because I go on tour with Philip.
Oh, jeez.
But I will keep organizing stuff from
Sure.
From
good.
Home.
We will reunite and it'll be fun and I'm looking forward to it very much. And it's our tour in or at the festival.
Yeah.
Brighton in England, New Jersey.
Warsaw, Poland.
Oh, before we go, I brought something for us.
What is this?
Spaghetti fizz bubble gum.
I want. Let me try.
Italians love spaghetti.
I know. That's why I bought it.
They are like sparkling or something like this.
No, it's bubble gum apparently. Oops, sorry to the mic. It's bubble gum. It's spaghetti fizz bubble gum sour flavor. So I figured that's who we are. It's a multicolored package. I was walking in and I bought a bunch of stuff at the grocery store and then they were right next to the counter and I looked at this and it's so multicolored and for my colorblind face I was like, oh, look at all the colors. And you're the spaghetti, I'm the fizz bubble gum, and you're the sour flavor, Jordan. No?
Cute.
Right. I'm just kidding.
Cute.
But here, have some spaghetti.
This is like
gum. No, you have to have a bunch.
So weird.
I don't know. Take more than that. All right, so we're going to have this because it's like... It says fizz bubble gum. Is it fizzy? This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this much.
Oh, I got you each guys a rock from France.
Yeah, this is a good rock. Why did I do this at the end of the podcast?
Where the fuck is my rock? I lost my rock.
Do we have anything else to announce? Contact Beatrice if you want your tour planned. She'll do it.
Yeah.
But please be funny.
And I highly recommend Spaghetti Fizz Bubblegum.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
And if you have a venue that you want me to perform in, please let me know.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Ariel, do you want something from people?
Yeah. I have a OnlyFans. I just show my ass.
I have a Patreon.
Really?
Yeah. For $1, I will say your name out loud.
For what?
For $5, I will think about you while I sleep. For $25, I'll write you a song.
No, this is your joke.
This is a real. It's
you
a real
actually do it?
Patreon. Yeah.
I
have 3 patrons.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Jordan Thomas Gray is the Patreon.
I hate when you guys say sweet. Sweet.
Yeah, it's not sweet, man.
I
That's
don't
fucking
understand.
Stupid. No, I like it. It's nice.
No, it's nice. It's not.
I don't know. Listen, we're all high now on Spaghetti Fizz Bubblegum. You can get it at your local Polish grocery store.
I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow.
Oh my God, it's true. Jordan is getting a tattoo.
Of what?
I'm getting a
square?
I'm getting the square.
All right, man. You said you were going to do it, and you're going to do it. And so you're a man of your word.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm learning about
And that's
the
what
tattoo.
the square means.
It doesn't change my look upon you. Why do you...
Why a square?
No. I know that part. And for the listener, it's because he's square. But
I'm a rectangle, okay?
yeah,
Sometimes
he's rectangles.
I'm a rhombus.
But no, it's more so that, like, how do you trust this tattoo artist?
Maybe I should show you her.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you pick tattoo artists. I've never had a tattoo. By the way, we should sign off because this is not video.
Okay. All right.
But then show me. I want to see it. I just think that it doesn't make sense to record
All
this.
right, guys. Thanks so much for listening to the Comedy Hall podcast and have a great day or whatever
or night
time you are listening to this
mid-afternoon.
podcast. Ciao.
And at 3, we'll say the same word at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Shamus.
I say potato.
I said shamus. It's not even a word.
Le bouf, bonsoir.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. So, guys, follow the Comedy Hall on Facebook, on Instagram. Check out our shows. We will be so happy to talk with you. Also, if you have any suggestion about possible topics for this podcast, reach out. If you want to be part of the podcast, reach out. If you're a comedian and you stop by Warsaw, come and we will have fun together on stage. So, ciao.